Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day and the final day of the trading week. As I mention each day, my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions are at the end of the day, in the last hour, and in particular, the last few minutes of the day. And I say this because during the day, you have the day traders, algorithms. They are the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They come in with a lot of size, or they're dealing with a lot of money, and their buying and selling decisions, what they decide to buy and sell, is in such large volume and size that it takes the price control back away from the day traders and the algorithms. And I consider following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day to make your buying and selling decisions, I consider that an edge, a long-term edge in your trading. So that is why I wait till the last few minutes of the day to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. It's been an interesting, really good week, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you investing the time that you spend here, and I hope it is paying off some dividends as far as learning more about trading and investing. So currently the Dow is green again, 64 points, up 0.2%. The NASDAQ is up 70 points, up 0.51%, and the S&P is up 12.49, up 0.32%. So another green day. It's been a big green week. So here is the format for today, everyone. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I am going to manage them going forward. I had two day trades today, one winning, one losing, but luckily the winning trade was more than the losing trade. After that, we are going to go over to the board. We're going to take a look at your positions, and we're going to see how those are doing. I see a lot of green over there, so that will be fun to take a look at that. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, most important skill that you can ever develop in trading. In the long term, the most important skill that you have to have is being able to follow your plan, and that is trader psychology. So I like to talk about that different ways from different angles, and hopefully one day you'll hear me say something and it will click in with you that how important trader psychology is. So we'll do that, and then after that I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner real quick. I have 3 requirements before I buy any trade and look to enter any new trade. First, I have to have a confluence or a combination of indicators line up on multiple time frames, such as RSI, MACD, moving averages, ATR channels. I like to see a confluence of these, ideally on multiple time frames, because it means that there are different groups and multiple groups of buyers coming in all at the same time, and you'll put yourself in the best possible position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. Number 2, if you do get a good confluence or combination of indicators, you also still need to have a good risk to reward ratio, meaning that I'm willing to risk $100, for example. I need to be able to make $200 or more to make that trade worthwhile taking. And then number 3, always take a few minutes before you hit that buy button. Ask yourself, do I really need this trade? Do I have other positions that are already in this industry? Do I have too much account heat already? Is this a great setup, or am I just taking it to take it? You will find out in the long run, you will make more money if you're very selective about the trades that you take. All right. So I do have some end of day candidates. I'll go through those both on the daily and the weekly time frames, and look for the 3 requirements that I just mentioned. And if I find something at the end of the day that looks good, I will go ahead and buy it. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at, please let me know. Just put them in the chat, put an asterisk or emoji by it so that I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new positions, any new additions or subtractions that you would like me to update on the board today, just go ahead and if you could please wait till the end of the day before you tell me what they are. That way I'm done teaching and done trading and pressure's off, and then we'll take as much time as we need to get those all taken care of. Okay, so that is the plan for today. Hold tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here today. David is here. Good to see you, David. Hope you're having a good day. Is it snowing over there in Colorado? It is snowing here today. Quite a bit, picking up. Good to see you. Hello, Dan. Peace sign right back at you. Hope you're having a good day. I know it's not snowing where you live. Johnson is here. Hey, Greg and all. Hello, Johnson. Nice to see you. Lova is here. Thank you, Lova, for being here as always. Hope you're having a good day. Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Sorry I wasn't chatting. I had some company today. It was helping me with a couple things, and so I didn't have a very active day trading day because of that. But thank you as always for everything that you do for this channel, Kamal. We all appreciate it. Steve Burns is here. Same goes for you, Steve. Nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. It's always an honor and a privilege to have you here. And thank you as always for all the great insight and the crossovers that you bring to our attention. So thank you, thank you. And then lastly, thank you for including me on your Friday list today. I really always appreciate that. Thank you so much. Nigma is here. Hello, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. Hope you're doing well. Frank is here. Hi, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Hello, Miko. Nice to see you, my friend. Oh, by the way, Miko, I did finish my course. And of course, I'm putting that up online to sell. But for my students, I'm just going to send them a copy free. So I will send you a copy of the Deep Dip Buy course. Jatin is here. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good to see you, bud. Steve says, cool new ETF, UFO Procure Space ETF. I've heard of that before. Let's look at it. UFO. Wow, it's cranking too. All right. Bob says, hi, everyone. Steve says, Adobe 1050 EMA cross. Let me write these down. Adobe 1050 EMA PTON 520 and Facebook. Yeah, I saw the Facebook one earlier and I had that on the list. Thank you, Steve. We'll look at Adobe and PTON after. Kamal says UFO, well named. Miko says, that is great, Greg. Congrats. I've been thinking how it was coming along since we last talked about it. Yeah, I just barely got it finished. I'm going to put it up on Udemy. I've uploaded it, but there's still a few things I'm going to do, but I do have the actual course, Miko, and I will send you that from my G drive. Lovis says, ordered Moving Averages 101 yesterday. Thank you, Steve, for helping everyone. It's a great book. It's a great book for sure. I've read it so many times. That's what my first exposure to Steve and his trading methods, and I'm very grateful for that. Miko says, and very kind of you to send your students. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Frank has a poem for it. Oh, no, this isn't a poem. Frank says, yesterday, Greg made a statement that is quite profound. The market can change on a dime. This led to the following poem. All right. I'm waiting. It'll come here in a second. It can change on a dime. I'll tell you what, it can change on a dime. All right, while we're waiting for that, let's go through current positions here. All right, so Steve, Yas, Johnson and myself did take DocuSign yesterday with the 1030 EMA cross. I took a half position on this only because I took 2 positions yesterday. And usually if I take more than 1 position, they're going to be half positions. So I'm equaling only really taking 1, but it's worked out nicely. We bought yesterday at 245.61. It's up 1.32% today. You can see I got within like 3 cents or something of my profit target. So it has not yet triggered. I should have just taken it manually when it was that close, but I was kind of busy today. But nonetheless, up for Steve, Yass, Johnson, and myself, up 1.28%. Not too shabby. Johnson & Johnson, Yass, Dan, Johnson. Johnson took Johnson & Johnson. How about that? Yass, Dan, Johnson, and myself. I also took a half position on this one yesterday. Return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, V2, gapped up nicely. You see I have 2 profit targets here, but really I got both of my profits here because it gapped above. So nice, up 1.4% today. Lower than it's open right now, but still holding the moving averages, still holding the 50 RSI. So as is right here, I will be keeping it. Interesting, it got right to that 1 ATR channel before it ran into resistance, but that's how it goes. So congratulations, Yass, Dan, and Johnson. MasterCard, all right. So am I the only one left in MasterCard? I am. All right, so I bought MasterCard back here on the 1st of February, bounce off the 200-day moving average. I bought it at 322.26. Next day, we had a big, strong bar up. We ran right into the 50. I sold half of my position here. Sideways the next day. Yesterday, another nice big up move. I did hit some more profit targets there today. And today it is down $3.11. It's down 0.91%, but it has not closed below the previous day's low. If it does, I would take another half off. But this has been a really good trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days, it's up about 4.75%. So nothing wrong with that. SPY, okay. Nice overnight SPY trade again. I bought the SPY yesterday at the close at 386.22. I sold it right at the open at 388.27. So over $2 in profit on the overnight SPY trade. These last few days have been great. Buy the close, sell the open, 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 buy the close, sell. So it's been 5 days in a row for the overnight gapper. So working well. Of course, I will buy this today. I'll hold it over the weekend. I'll sell it first thing Monday morning. USO. All right. I feel like I've been talking about this trade forever. And the reason why is because I have. This is a long-term trade. I bought this at 30.97. It's at 38.20. It's up over another percent today. This has been a monster trade. 18.87%. I like to take trades on different time frames. I will be looking for a trade on a weekly bar since today's Friday. But I took this on the monthly with the under 30, over 30, under the negative third channel, over the negative third with the V2. So I've had this 2 months and a week, but over 18% return. So that's really great. Lastly, Zoom, Gary, Yass, Jatin, and myself. We did buy Zoom back here on the 1st of February with this return to value, sideways motion, V2. Bought this at 381.57. Moved up, closed above the 50, then closed below. I took half off here because that's what my rules tell me to do with the rejection of the 50. You can see the last time we were at the 50 every time it failed. So it did make sense, but I'm glad I kept half because it was up yesterday and up today 6.06%, and I did hit 3 profit targets. So far, this has been a really nice trade, currently up 7.87%. Excuse me. NVIDIA. All right, so Yass, Gary, and myself did buy NVIDIA with the 520 cross back here on the 2nd of February at 542.17. Next day moved up strongly. I did take some profits off. Then it came back down. I sold half. I didn't like that we couldn't get above this previous range here and the big reversal bar. Yesterday, fortunately, it was up, which was good. And then today it opened up, but it is down about 0.54% today. So still profitable on the trade with the remaining shares, and certainly profitable because I took some profits up here. But so far, it's holding. I will be holding this. And again, I only have a half position left. And then lastly, I had 2 trades today on the Qs intraday. First trade was here. Return to value, sideways motion, V2. I bought it intrabar at 330.35. 2 bars later, I sold half as it moved up nicely. And then it consolidated, had another big thrust up bar where I also took some profits, 331.11, kept going up, rejected the 70 RSI here. I got out of half of what I had remaining at 331.42. And then I was just waiting for a close below the previous day's low, which happened here at 332.03. So it was a great day trade. In at 330.35, out at 330.80, out at 331.11, out at 331.42, and out at 332.03. So that was a great trade. And then I did have a trade, I don't know, half an hour ago on the Qs here. I had a higher low V2. See, we're below the -1 ATR channel. We rally into it. We come back down. We have a V2. I bought it here at 331.64. It initially went my way. My stop was a close below halfway the washout bar, which was here. Went my way, came down, and this bar got me out. So on this trade, it was a losing trade, 331.64, and I got out at 331.30. So 34 cents loss on that one. But between the 2 day trades, definitely profitable. So I didn't day trade as much today because I was busy, but that's how it goes. It's kind of a nice break, to be honest with you. Now, we have Frank in the Qs way down here at 284.60. It's 331.32. So he has had a monster week and a monster trade. Okay, let's see if Frank has that poem for us. Steve says, second edition of Moving Averages has a great foreword. Ah, thank you, Steve. Yes, I wrote that foreword. Appreciate you letting me do that, Steve. That was an honor. Okay, so Frank has a poem for us. Let's read it. The market can change on a dime. It's done it many a time. To watch your stock climb is oh so sublime, but not to book a profit is simply a crime. Oh, so good. I mean, that about sums it all up. I mean, about trading for me, especially with the profit taking part, because that's a big part for me. Let's read it again. The market can change on a dime. Yes, it can. It's done it many a time. Yes, it has. To watch your stock climb is oh so sublime, but not to book a profit is simply a crime. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having a nice big profit and giving it all back. Steve wrote a book on that specific thing called Boom and Bust Investors. That's about people that are just buy-in holders where they just ride it up. They have massive gains, but then if we get a big pullback, they ride it all the way back down. And therefore, there's the bust part of the title, Boom and Bust Investors. Should read that. They should read that. You know, I think getting in there and being a little proactive with it at certain levels makes sense. Doesn't mean you have to over trade, but Dan says, Frank, nice one. Frank says, come on. Steve says, you're a poet, Frank. 5 stars out as always. 100% agreed. Okay. All right. Let's run over here and take a look at your positions, shall we? I've been looking at mine all day. All right, Frank has had a great trade on Apple down here at 111. It's 136.35. It's down a little bit today, but obviously Frank is way up on the trade. VIX, I don't know why I have this on here. I don't think anyone has this. We had some trades here. Look at this, just up and down. That looks like GME, but we are back at support. Look at the support. This is where buyers have come in, and we are right back down there now as well. Amazon. Jatson bought Amazon at $32.94. It is $33.59, so it is up on the day, and it is up on the trade for Jatson. Way to go. FCX, beautiful trade for Steve. And Johnson, Steve took this yesterday with the 520 crossover. Johnson also was in there at 29.72. It's up 6.54% today. What a trade, Steve. Congratulations, and congratulations to Johnson. Verizon. No one has Verizon. I don't know why I have this on here. Maybe because I day traded it yesterday. Was a nice under 30, over 30, as advertised. All right, so let me get rid of Verizon. Oh, maybe, did I have this on here for the weekly? No, I didn't. Okay, JMIA. Karen bought JMIA at 45.60. It's down a little bit today, but she is still nicely up on the trade, down 4.09%, but she's up monster on the trade, so congratulations. Shopify keeps going up for Kamal, very impressive. Kamal bought the low of day back on the 27th of January at 1081.91. It's up another $1.68% today. Kamal is up on this trade 15.38%. Very nice. DKNG, another Kamal trade at 53.04. It's currently 63.64. So it's up over $10 from this little intraday trade where he was just risking a little bit for the potential to make a lot, and that's exactly how it played out. So congratulations, Kamal. CRM is Kamal sold CRM, but Kamal and Frank got in back here at 216.80, and just again, very small risk, but it turned into a monster. So Frank still has a quarter position there. So congratulations, Frank. FSLY, Kamal bought FSLY at 105.80. It's 112.12, and Karen bought it at the close. I didn't put another line in there. I think she bought it right here about 109, but both up nicely on the trade, and it is up today as well. Coca-Cola, yeah, Timothy bought Coca-Cola with the rejection of the 200-day moving average and the bounce at the 30 RSI at 48.52. It's 49.62, up 1.24% today. That's nice. It looks like we definitely triggered a fractal. We've moved sideways, consolidated, had that 200 moved out, held as support except for this one day. MACD is positive. Looks like we may have gotten close to rejecting the 50 RSI today, but way to go, Timothy. I think Timothy, if he still has this trade, is up 2.22%. Not too bad. Twitter, been a nice trade for Johan. Back down here at 45.90. Look at this just unnatural move. That's the only, no give to it at all. Bought at 45.90. It's 56.90. What a trade. Way to go. Okay, let's see. That was Twitter, right? Okay, Teladoc. Frank bought Teladoc all the way back here at 190. No, 182. It's 285.74, up 3.21%. Monster trade, Frank. Congratulations. INAQ. Frank bought that at 15.90 at 17.40, up 2.29%, up on the day, up on the trade. Square. Morgs bought Square at 227.60 with a 520 crossover. It's 238.94. Nice trade there, Morgs. UUP is the dollar. Jatton bought the dollar at 24.42. It's 24.54. So a little down on the day, but still up on the trade. AMC Quad. Are you still in this Quad? Let me know. It's down another 5% today. I'm not sure if Quad's still in this, but I think he bought somewhere around $13 with a very small position. I'm glad to hear. Kamal got out. Okay, got out yesterday at break even. Tracy did buy at 745.50 at 762.21. So Tracy is nicely up on that trade. Solly, Ramble Ron bought this at $9. It's 11.80. Excellent trade there. SLV. I do still have Pat buying from the 520 crossover at 24.71. Of course, had that huge move up and then huge move down, but it is up today. And if Pat does have it, she is now up on the trade and up on the day, and she is now back up on the trade. NVAX has been a monster that Frank bought at 135. It's 288, over 100% return in 6 days. Wow. Way to go, Frank. LITE, Gary sold credit spreads February 26, 80 75s. Needs to hold above $80 in order for Gary to make his $70 per contract. Is down a little bit today. Gary wants that to go up, or at the very least not go down too much. Avid, Frank bought Avid at 19.25. It's 20.68, down a little today, but up on the trade. RDFN, Morgs and Jatson bought at 82.50. It's 82.99, so that's up on the day and up on the trade. NIO, Frank bought at 46.16. It's 56. It's up $10. Gary sold $55 puts expiring February 5th, which is today. So it looks like Gary is going to keep all the premium. And then Johnson got in at 55. BLDP, Karen bought, I think that was yesterday, at 37.75. It's 38.59. Nike, big, huge day for Frank and Steve. Way to go. Steve and Frank bought this back at 139.59 with the 1050 EMA cross. It's down the first day and then up like a rocket ship today for Steve and Frank, up 3.06%. Congratulations, guys. AMD, yeah, spot AMD at 88.80. It's 88.01. So down a little bit on the day, up on the day, but down on the trade. Tesla, Kamal is short in spirit. Jatson is long for real. Jatson is long from 840, so it's 849. So he is in the money on the trade. Budweiser, BUD. Frank bought Budweiser at 62.81. It's 65.59. Up on the day and nicely up on the trade. Snow, Steve and Morgs bought Snow with 520 crossover at 303.73. It's 302.86. So this one is a little bit down on the day and a little bit down on the trade. ITB, Jatson bought ITB at 59.87. It's 62.99, up 2.69% today. So way to go there. Nice trade. Goldman Sachs, Steve bought Goldman Sachs 288.65. It's currently 294.10. It is up 0.12% today, so it's up on the day, up on the trade. Lyft, beautiful trade for Steve on Lyft with the 520 crossover, 49.49. It's 53.13. So in just 2 days here, this 520 crossover for Steve, 6.96% approximately. Way to go. PDD, Karen bought PDD at 181.20. It's 195.40. A little down on the day, but up on the trade. GILT, Karen also bought at 1270. It's 1580. 18. It's up 12.2% today. Just today. Wow. Congratulations. Fastly. We're almost done. Kamal bought Fastly intraday at 105.80. Back on the 2nd. It's 112.13. Karen bought at the close, I guess around when. Did I already go over this one? But anyway, up on the day, up on the trade. And lastly, Jatson bought Roku. Looks like with this V2 at 402, it's 436. It's up 0.69% today. Woo! That was something. Gary says, hi, Greg. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Jatton says, as I said yesterday, I requote it. It's just like wine getting better every day, Frank, sir. I agree. Kamal says, wow, there are a ton of positions on this board. A ton. A ton. Gary says, Kamal, that makes me nervous. It also makes me nervous. Frank says, thanks, Jatton. Kamal says, I do have QYLS from 122. We'll update end of day. Okay, good. Good. All right. So Steve has had some great trades this week. Absolutely. So on Fridays, I always like to do a Steve Burns quote. And this is from Steve Burns, the New Traders, Rich Traders channel over on Facebook. You should come over there and apply to be in the chat in that channel. A lot of good, serious traders over there. I never see any nonsense. I just see good stuff. And anyway, let's read what Steve has to say, shall we? Because when Steve says something, we should probably listen. Here are some things to focus in on. Here are some things to focus in on to develop into a profitable trader. All right, let's see what it says. You need an edge in trading. Well, of course you do. What's an edge? An edge is essentially an advantage you have over the market. How do you know if you have one? Well, you can back test it. You can do quantified back testing to see if an approach that you're using over time does have a positive expectancy, or in other words, has an edge. Just like a casino, they have an edge on all of their games. Doesn't mean they're going to win every hand, but over the long run, the edge always does win out. And so you should use something that has some back tested data. Doesn't mean it's going to work in the future. It's a little different than the casino in that respect. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be something that has good back tested results. So you need an edge in trading. You need a watch list to trade. This is very important. You need you need a watch list that has well-rounded group of stocks that people are interested in, stocks that have good fundamentals, stocks that people watch, right? And that's why, I don't know how many stocks I have on my watch list, 67 or something. I have all the indexes in there. I have all the big monster stocks. I have a good variety of different, type of stocks where I have some diversification. They're not all tech stocks. They're tech stocks, health stocks, tobacco stocks, airline stocks, indexes, everything. So I have a good mix. You need to back test your signals. Well, that kind of goes back over to you need an edge in trading. Yes, the 200, 250 day, those are really quite easy to back test. I use ETF replay to do that. You've seen me show you that very many times, and you can back test, hey, how does an under over 200 work on this stock? How does a crossover work on this stock? Right? I can guarantee you the nice trades that Steve Burns has had, he's back tested those in like Fiverr, and I can't remember the one today that's up nicely. What is that, Steve? FCX, right? I guarantee you he back tested that. Where did my thing go here? You must learn to manage trades after entry. Yeah, entry is just one part of it. That's why every day I say I'm going to show you where I entered, or when I entered, why I entered, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. Trailing stops, taking profits. It's not just buying. Buying and holding to me is, I don't know. It doesn't take a lot of work. It seems real convenient. So I think you can do better when you work a little bit. So managing your trades with trailing stops and stop losses and selling into strength. Position size right. You always hear me talk about this. It's very important. I am a big fan of position sizing, different position sizes depending on what the market volatility is. If the market volatility is a 1 and you buy 300 shares, but then the market volatility increases up to a 3, if you still buy 300 shares when the market volatility is tripled, it's like you're buying 900 shares, right? If you're buying 300 shares when the market volatility is a 1, if the market volatility goes to a 3, you should be buying 100 shares to be able to standardize it right. And again, I just take my maximum allowed loss, I divide it by the 2 ATR value, and that does all the math. It figures out all the volatility and tells you exactly how many shares to buy. Focus on big wins, or small losses, no big losses. This is the profitable equation for trading, everyone. Big wins are allowed, obviously. Small wins are totally fine. Small losses, you're going to have those. Those are totally fine. Just no big losses. And that's one of the best things about this channel. I rarely see anyone hanging on to big losses. I see them hanging on to big wins, which is good. That's great. But what you cannot do is hang on to big losses. Get rid of them. They're weeds in your garden, right? And that first loss is the easiest loss to take. Understand total risk exposure. Well, this is kind of all encompassing. How many positions do you have? What is really your total risk? I think people think of it as this arbitrary concept, but there is a possibility. I always look at what's my maximum allowed loss and how many positions do I have? Is my maximum allowed loss $3,000 on a trade? And do I have 5 positions? I have to really be okay if things really go south for me to lose $15,000 on that day. That's how I do it. Stay disciplined with your process, 100%. You have to stay disciplined. If you have a good approach that works, just remember it's not going to work all the time. And if it doesn't work, don't just go hopping and skipping over to another approach because you'd think, oh, this one doesn't work anymore. If it's a good one, if it's robust, if it has good trading principles over time, it should work. But stay disciplined, develop faith in your system and yourself to follow it. That's a big thing. That takes experience. You know, over time, I'm very comfortable with my V1, V2s. I'm very comfortable with price action around the 200-day. But I've done it for a long time. If I haven't done it for a long time, I could see how you go, I don't really know if this works, right? So the only way to really develop faith into it in your approaches is to do it for a long time. And the only way to trade for a long time is not to bet too much on any one trade so that you have some staying power and you're able to get experience. If you start off as a beginner, trade too large, run into a bad patch and lose all your money, then how are you ever going to get good at trading without the experience? Persevere. Yes, that's great. You have to persevere. It's not always going to go right for you. Just, when you're in a drawdown and you're not doing well, just trade smaller. You hear lots of people say it, but it's totally true. You don't want to quit trading. You don't want to get scared of it, fall off that horse. You want to get back on, but just get back on a little easier horse, right? So thank you, Steve Burns. These are a lot of good information and a lot of good suggestions. Appreciate that, bud. That was helpful for me to read, and I hope it was helpful for everyone in the chat. Okay, Jatin says buying PTON with stop loss. Okay, remind me at the close. Morg says VRM has done very well this week. Do we have VRM up there? Yes, it sure has. Is anyone in that? No. Kamal says, I am seeing cross under on PTON. You're right, and my recent winners were based on backtest data that shows an edge. That's correct. Jatin said, reason for PTON stock gapped down and yet didn't break 140 and bounce back up shows presence of you-know-who. Mark says, what do you think of ZM, Greg? Well, I have ZM right now at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't be buying here if I didn't have the position. I said that yesterday too, though, but I meant it. I still would not have taken this. I'm glad it went up, fortunately, because I bought it down here. But I wouldn't chase. I mean, look, if you buy this today, the only really thing that can happen is you're hoping for another big momentum bar up. Then it would make sense. If we only knew. I think the chances are greater that, maybe we go up to the 100-day moving average. I would say that's maybe as far as we go, but who knows? But there's also a very good chance we just move sideways and do nothing. But me personally, I'm going to keep the trade because I have it at lower prices, but I wouldn't buy this kind of trade. But you know me, right? There's a lot of volume, and it did break out, and it could trend up. But for my type of trading, see, that's the thing. When you ask me about trades, please don't do anything based upon what I'm telling you. I'm just giving you my opinion the way that I look at trades, right? A breakout trader, this may be the perfect approach for them. So it just kind of depends what kind of trader you are. Jatin says, tell a doc. A good VCP? I don't know what that means. Surf? Is there a stock symbol called Surf? Oh, this is one of those ones, David, where I have to wait for today's bar to do something. Because this is only showing yesterday's bar, so I guess it just hasn't traded. We'll watch that for a second until it kicks in. Let's see if I do this. Will that help? Because this is yesterday's bar. Oh, volatility contraction pattern. Oh, interesting. I had never heard that before. Thank you, Jatin. All right, I'm going to put Surf down here. So I don't forget about that. That happened to me on that Neo trade. Exact same situation. Fool me once, shame on you. Is that how it goes? I don't know. All right. Let's take a look at some end-of-day candidates. Well, good thing I didn't buy bonds yesterday. I was considering it, but then I said I really want to see it thoroughly go under 30 and over 30. Well, it certainly did. That's a big move for bonds. Still has the double bottom with the bullish divergence. It's a 28.44. So at this point, I would need to close above 30. But if it closed above 30, we'd probably also close above the negative third ATR channel. So in the coming days and weeks, I am definitely going to be looking for a bullish trade on TLT. But if we can go back above 30 RSI, if we can go back above the third ATR channel, and even if we do, we're probably going to run into some kind of resistance here. So nothing on TLT for me today. Facebook is also a potential here today with the 520 cross. Right now, we're at 266.79. The 20 is 266.89. So it has not crossed over, but speaking of back tests, 520 does back test positively for Facebook. So we'll just have to see where the market closes. But right now, it's 266.75 compared to 266.88. So it's certainly possible that this could trigger. We'll just watch it. GLD does have a close under the 250 and a close back over the 250. That is a good back tested approach. It does back test well. Let me see if I have this. Here we go. This is etfreeplay.com. I'm using this by permission, by the way, etfreeplay.com. Here's the test. Close under the 250, close over the 250. If we back test it, since 2000, you can see buy and hold 192.5. Using the under 250 over 250, 143. The drawdown on buy and hold was 45.6. The drawdown on the under over 250 was 33.77. So the drawdown is better than buy and hold. Buy and hold was a little better percentage wise, but I do kind of like this, honestly. It gives me a very, very good risk to reward ratio. Close under if it closes over. It has to close over 169.49 and it's 169.77. So if it does, I am going to buy gold because the risk to reward is excellent here with this 250 right above. Did surf come in for us? Not yet. Not yet. So let's look at some other ones. McDonald's. You remember how I was looking for a weekly trade on McDonald's? Well, I do like this setup. This is a return to value sideways motion. Only thing, though, in order for this to really qualify, it would have to close above day one's bar one's close. Here's bar one, bar two washes out bar one and the previous low. Today is Friday, so this bar closes on Friday. It would have to close above bar one's close of 213.38. Currently it's 212.55. So if this does close above, I like this trade for a weekly. My stop would be a close below halfway the washout bar, right about here next Friday. So this is the best weekly trade that I could come up with, but I don't know if it's going to trigger or not. We'll just have to wait till the end of the day. Adobe. All right, so Adobe had the 1050 EMA. What happened? Okay, so yes, I do see the 1050 triggering here on Adobe. That's the pink line going over the dotted line. For me, this is a little high. We've already rejected the 2 ATR channel. The market has already told me that it got to the 2 ATR channel and didn't like it. I rarely take crossovers when they're this high or if they reject the second ATR channel. So it might just go cruising on up, but just for me, no. And then PTON. $150.90, $150.90, $150.47. Is this the right day? No, it's not showing. It's not showing. What is happening? It's the same with Surf. Surf hasn't updated on this bar. Sorry, everybody. I can't even comment on this one until it updates. So McDonald's, I'm looking at McDonald's only if it on a weekly trade at 213.38, but it's not there. My favorite one on the day right now is gold, under 250, over 250, and it gives me some balance in my portfolio. And the other one is Facebook, 266.78 compared to 266.89, so that one is still not there. All right, let's see if there's anything else I have to do over here with current positions. DocuSign is doing fine. Be great if I could hit that profit target, but anyway, up nicely still. Johnson & Johnson having a nice day, up 1.67%, so there's nothing I have to change there. MasterCard is more than 1.5 ATRs from entry, but it does not look like close below, so that one's down a little bit today, but nicely up on the trade. SPY. Of course, I will be buying SPY again at the close, holding it over the weekend, selling it. Oil's up nicely over 1% today. Zoom just cranking along up 7% today. So that's been a great trade for us. NVIDIA, I took that with the 520 crossover, sold half a couple days ago near break even. This one will be a holder. And then Qs were just my day trade. Frank says, off topic because we talk about zinc. I see Zycam is now owned by Church & Dwight, which acquired its manufacturer, Matrix Initiatives. Boy, there's a name from the past, Matrix. I remember when that all happened, Frank. I remember when it all happened. I remember those Matrix guys. Wow, Zycam owned by Church & Dwight. That's a big deal. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Thanks for letting me know. Jatin says, volatility contraction by my favorite, David Ryan and Mark Minervini. Okay, that's right, because we talk about contraction, volatility. It gets volatile, then it contracts. Then it gets volatile, then it contracts. Stocks trend, then they go sideways. Then they trend, then they go sideways. It's all the same. Jatin says, look at Roku roaring in the end. If closes here, we'll add a little more position. Okay. Okay, good. Tracy said, late to the party, finally made it. Nice to see you, Tracy. And I got your email, and I'll get back to you on that. It was nice talking with you last night. Sunny said, TSCO had a V1 on the weekly, daily, both in the value. Oh, let's look. TSCO. Man, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is with some of these symbols. It's not updating on my charts. It's showing yesterday's. Is this? No. And yes, you're right, Sonny. There is a V1 on the weekly, but it's up against a huge big down bar. I never take V1s up against the. This is day one. This is bar one. This is bar two. If I get a big deep bar like this, Sonny, I never take a V1 up against it. The reason why this bar was so big, larger than one ATR, was because there was a ton of selling. So it's not impossible to keep going up, but it's less likely that it can go up against a bar where you had this much selling on the downside. So that one would mean nothing to me. I like that it's in the value zone for sure, but the size of the V1 bar is way too big. And this isn't updating. It's still showing yesterday, so I can't really... Although you said... I don't see the V1. Oh, it must have opened under and come back over, but unfortunately, I can't see it. I don't know what the deal is. Yep, Surf didn't update. PTON didn't update. Occidental Petroleum. Again, I don't know why this isn't updating, everybody. I'm sorry. It's just not showing today's data, so I can't really comment. Whoa, nice. Yeah, you asked me about this the other day. I just didn't know whether or not the 520 back tested positively on Boyd, so I didn't want to say anything, unfortunately, but it has done really well. Do you have it, Tracy? Okay. Wow, look at Zoom. Up 7.5% today for us. Unreal. What a trade. Holy smokes. And DocuSign looks like it's near the high of the day. So I don't think McDonald's is going to trigger the 1050 on the Adobe is just too high for me because we've rejected the second ATR channel. And two, I already have positions, right? I don't want to just be adding positions, because if we have a big down day, then I just get walloped. That's why I like gold. That's why I like to have a little diversification with gold and a good risk to reward ratio. Is Facebook going to have the cross? 266.75, 266.88. Not quite yet. So as long as gold holds above 169.49, that will be my entry. NIO. I don't see a new signal here today, that's for sure. I mean, it's down, it's holding the 50 RSI, which is good, but I don't see a new signal here. All right, so in the next 5 minutes or so, I will be buying gold if it holds, and that's about the only thing I see. Unless possibly Facebook crosses, and it's getting closer. It is getting closer. So I'm going to put Facebook and gold up here. Ugh. All right. 266.84, 266.90. I don't like this big bar over there here, I have to say though. And we're right at the halfway of that big bar on the weekly. 81 to 89 now. Nice little V2 on gold right there with the double bottom bullish divergence. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and buy gold right now then. A little early, but I better put McDonald's here as well. I would like to get a weekly trade on if possible, but only if it's legit. And it is not legit at the moment. Facebook's getting closer, 83.90. Okay, Steve says, I'm at my maximum correlated equity risk here. I can't add any more unless it's metals. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. That's kind of why I'm going with metals is why. Jan says, I never understand the last hour buying indicates something big ahead. Well, it's the people the people dealing with the most money, Jatin, that are making their decisions. So you kind of have to look at that like smart money. And that's why I believe, at least, and I believe Steve believes, that following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day, it's that during the day, the large financial institutions don't do the majority of their buying and selling. It's day traders. It's people like us. At the end of the day, people that are dealing with billions of dollars, you kind of have to assume that they have pretty smart people working for them and the best information, that they're putting their information to work. And that's why, just in my opinion, that is what indicates something ahead. Lovis says, P2N supposedly down on news about government aid to gyms. Also, GLD bounced near the 30 RSI. Yeah, it did. Down here yesterday. Yeah. Well, the gold trade is in the money so far, so that's good. Facebook going to be able to pull this out? 266.84 to 266.90. So no, DocuSign up over $4 again. So it looks like we're rallying a little bit here at the end of the day, I think. But I think I'm good with gold. I don't think I'm going to take Facebook even if it crosses. Just because I have so many positions. I would take McDonald's, however, but I don't think it's going to get there. No. Oh, market's closed anyway. All right. So let me see where this all played out. So no weekly trade today. So I bought SPY at 387.71, and I bought GLD at 169.70. Oops, 73. Okay, so I can get rid of McDonald's. That's too bad. I really wanted a weekly trade. I can get rid of Facebook. Did Facebook close over? No, it did not. All right, so gold I got in at 169.73. And my stop will be just to close below this 250. So good little risk to reward. Doesn't mean it can't go way down. Doesn't have to stop there, but that's why I have my emergency stop in place also. 169.73. That's the trade on GLD. And then SPY. 387.71. Wow, great week, great day, great week, great month, great year. Very grateful, very, very grateful for all of this. All right, so listen, if you have any new entries or exits for me to update today, just put them in the board. We'll get them taken care of. Before we get to that, just a quick reminder, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time. I teach everything I've learned over the last 25 years, everything I've learned from my teachers and mentors as well. I have a course, it's 15 hours, 3 hours each lesson, five lessons for a total of 15 hours. I know you're going to be a better trader when you get done with it. I like to teach. I think I'm pretty good at it. And I just teach you all my setups, stops, entries, profit targets, emergency stops, end of day stops, everything we discuss here. But I think the best way to learn is one-on-one. So if you are interested, just send an email to me. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, I'll reach out and say, let's schedule a Skype call. Skype call's free. And just want to get to know you better, learn about your trading and what you hope to achieve. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. All right. And then when we're done, obviously you just think about it. And then in the future, if you decide you want to schedule, you can just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, if you find this helpful or any podcast in the past helpful, I would appreciate it if you could just take a couple seconds, hit that thumbs up button before you get on with your weekend. Okay, so let's take a look, see what we've got going here today. Surf. I wish I could see that, bud. It just, Surf and PTON did not update. I don't know why. So, okay, well, let me start at the top and go in order. Okay, so, Jatin is in NVIDIA. Oh, I have you in NVIDIA right here. PTON, so let's get that updated. And it's not showing today's bar, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to put this here when this updates. See how this bar says 2-4? It's not showing. I don't know why that's even the case, but so we'll put Jatin at 149. And Teladoc okay, good luck on those, Jatin. David is in Surf, and that's another one with those weird charts that I don't know what's happening, but we'll just put it in there, bud, and then we'll see how it looks. Does the chart look pretty good? I hope. I don't think David would take it if it didn't. Must have had a V2 or well, there was a V1 yesterday, so all right. I'm just going to put here David. Cool symbol too. Karen says, hi, Greg. Hi. Good to see you, Karen. Sold at break even. Okay. Well, that's good. You know, I'm always impressed with break even traders. Kamal is at a Fastly. So we have Karen left. QLYS. Okay, that's the one that you bought earlier at 122.10. Well, that looks like it's in the money already. Not surprised with the Kamal trade. 122.10. Morgs is out of pins. Do I still have pins on here? I know we talked about it yesterday. But then I had the computer. Oh, you remember I had the program. That's where it went. It's on there. I'm sure when I pull this up, it will be on there, but it took it off the board. Oh, I guess not. Yeah, when it crashed yesterday, it... Okay, but you're out of pins. In gold. Johnson's in gold. PLTR. At 32. Oh, I like it. Oh, nice. Nice, Johnson. You are a good trader, my friend. I like how you waited for the value zone before you made your move. Imagine if you made your move up here. Frank says, I vote for gold. IAU. Okay. IAU is a different gold ETF, but it still is going to be basing its value off of the underlying, which is gold. Okay, this one's a little... Did this one reject the 30, I wonder? Got pretty close. No. Okay. And Frank got in at 1726. Was that yesterday, Frank? It didn't even trade at 1726 today. Looks like the high was 1712. Did you buy it yesterday, perhaps? Karen in CLVS. $8.44. That must have been yesterday. Jatin is out of Amazon. Yeah, Amazon has not done all that much since earnings. Gary's in GLD. Out of Zoom. I don't blame you. Take advantage of that big boy up there. That was a great trade for us, man. Unreal. Between yesterday's Fiverr and today's Zoom, holy smokes. All right. So Gary has some new contracts on NIO. His other one's expired today, so let's find NIO. So these expired today. It held above $55, so Gary made all of the bananas on that one. Way to go, Gary. I haven't seen Gary have one losing options trade. Nice job. Karen is at 52.50 or 52.20, excuse me. Okay, Yas took out some Zoom. I don't blame you, buddy. I took off Zoom. I took off some today as well. 3 profit targets worth. So this is Jatin. No, this is Yas. Sorry. Okay. Nice, since it's the biggest position in my port. Great week. PLTR 3472. My QLYS chart is not updating. Yeah, I've had a few that haven't updated today, everybody. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't know what it is. What's QL? Well, I can look over here. Oh, 1.42%. Nice, Kamal. Jackson says, thanks, sir, for helping and motivating us every week. You are a very kind human being. God bless you. Words straight from the heart. Thank you, Jatin. Appreciate that, my friend. Feel the same way about all of you, but that's very kind of you. Oh, and David, uh, I am going to send you my deep dip by course. I'll send it to you for my G Drive, okay? So look for that. I already sent it to Gary. We talked earlier today. Morg says, "Have a great weekend, Steve. Just want to say thanks to you and Steve. My trading results have improved so much from listening to you every day, taking in the knowledge you share from experience." Awesome. Glad to hear it, Morris. Karen says, "Greg, you had today's bar missing on CLVS. I entered today." Oh, okay. Well, those, for some reason, they're not showing up, so I'll have to do it after I get those bars in. Sorry, meant Greg at the beginning. No, I got it. Karen says, "Same story with VAC. You have today's bar missing. I entered today." Okay. When it updates later, I'll do it. Gary says, "Thank you, Greg. I did have a loss on the SPY puts that I purchased as a seller of options. I have been doing very well. Hope I don't jinx myself, as Steve says you need to have an edge." Correct. Selling options is like being the casino. The edge is in your favor. Frank says, "Greg, it says order filled 1726. Yeah, that happens sometimes, doesn't it, Frank? I've bought something higher than it shows on the bar as well. I don't know. Was it maybe in the pre-market or something? I don't know. 1726. Oh, it's not okay. It's not showing today's bar, Frank. See, this is the 4th. I don't know why this is doing this. This is unreal. Dan says, "Gary, so to do that with options, you have to own the stock." No, you don't. You don't have to own the stock. He's doing spreads where he's selling puts and he's buying puts underneath for protection. That's a whole other seminar. So he's selling puts to get the premium. But if you just sell naked puts, you have unlimited loss. So he buys puts below as insurance. So the only place he can lose is in between where he sold and where he's buying. That's why they're called spreads. Yes, I totally agree with Morgs. Being part of this group has helped stabilize my trading process and results as well. Great. Glad to hear it. Gary says, "Have a nice weekend." Thanks, bud. Thank you, Johnson. Yes, says, "Thanks, Greg, and everyone. My prayers are all of you. We're all in this together." Thank you. Morg says, "I am keen to slowly learn about options." Yeah, it's a whole different world. Whole different world. Kamal says, "Thank you, Greg. Have a great weekend, everyone." Thanks, bud. Appreciate everything you do for the channel, Kamal, and for your friendship. And that goes for Steve as well. Wow, what a day, what a week, what a month, what a year. It's just been unreal. It's just been fantastic. Very, very happy and grateful. I am teaching tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. Teaching a little return to value V1, V2s, and teaching higher low V1s, V2s. It's actually my favorite lesson to teach. It is actually my favorite lesson to teach. So I have a lesson tonight with Lilia, so I'm looking forward to that. Brian says, "Hi, interested in your class for my wife. Does it include options?" No, Brian, it does not include options. That is going to have to be a second course that I put together. But, here's the thing. I am good with options. I am good with certain type of options, but I would not consider myself an option expert like I do consider myself an expert when it comes to technical analysis with dealing with stocks. So, I'm happy to help people with options, but as far as just a full-blown options class, we can talk about options for sure, but I do not teach a specific options class. Steve Burns has a great options book, Options 101. You can find that on Amazon. You can find that at newtraderu.com, which is Steven's website. But no, the answer is in the course, we can certainly talk about options, but it's not strictly an options class because, like I said, I'm good at very certain type of options, but I don't consider myself an expert in all areas of options. But I do a lot of them. Love says, "Greg, what happened? Do you have courses for sale? I only caught half of what you were just talking about." I am putting up a course for sale. I just finished it up this week. It's the deep dip buy course, the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. It's 26 videos. It's almost 10 hours of video. It took me the last 3.5 months, and I'm going to have it available on Udemy. They have to review it and approve it. But you know, Udemy, things are so cheap on Udemy. I mean, it will probably cost you $15 or $20. But when I have it available, I'll put a link on there, Lova. All right. I mean, it's going to be really affordable on Udemy, and it's a really good course, really good. And, you know, we'll see how that does. If it does well, then I'll create courses for all the other approaches, but it's going to be $15 or $20 maximum. And it's a lot of content, PDFs, all sorts of stuff. But I will let you know, Leva. Thanks for asking. Miko says, thanks, Greg. Have a good weekend. Yes, Miko, I am going to send you that course, bud. So watch your email. Brian says, okay, thanks. Good. Johnson says, question, GDOT could be short candidate. Johnson's looking for a short candidate. He wants one badly. Let's see. Yeah, that is something I would probably short. That's a V1 to the downside, meaning last bar we had a high. We went higher today, reversed back down. So it's a V1 to the downside. It rejected the 50-day moving average as well. I would have liked if it would have lost the 50 RSI, but it's a very good risk to reward ratio, Johnson. It's very good because right there is halfway of the washout bar. That dovetails with the 50-day moving average. So if you're right, you could be possibly right down to here on the short side. If you're wrong, any close back above basically 55.50, right? It's like 34 cents of potential loss. I mean, it could go way up. I shouldn't say that. Of course, you have to have your emergency loss up here, but my end of day stop is only 14 cents away, I guess is what I'm saying. Let's look at the weekly. You know, the weekly's kind of strong. It's a V2 to the upside, close back above the 200-day moving average. So now that I look at the weekly, I probably wouldn't short because I like to look at multiple time frames. But just looking on the daily, yeah, that is definitely something. You've seen me in day trades short a lot of stuff like this. Ah, shoot. Missing last day on your chart again. Gosh darn it. Good short. The bar is red. It would have worked out. Okay. So yeah. Greg, I listened to the intro of the course today and we'll continue with more over the weekend. Thank you very much for sending it to me. Hope you have a great weekend. You are welcome. Yep. I got to save that off to David and send that off to Miko. Karen says thumbs up. Appreciate that, Karen. Oh, I missed a lot of comments up here. Dan says, no, I don't own the stock on NAO. I've been selling naked puts each week. The idea is to take in the premium with the thought of potentially owning the stock at a lower price. Those are naked cash secured puts. Gary says, if I do end up being put in the stock, I immediately then sell at the money calls against them for additional premium. If it keeps going down, it would mitigate the loss. NIO is range bound, so it has really worked out well. Morg says, I will be keen for that, Greg. Good. I think it will be perfect for you, Morgs, that course. It's just like me speaking. It's pretty much like a one-on-one lesson, but it's just focused on deep dip buys. Then I'll do one for crossovers. Then I'll do one for V1s, V2s. Then I'll do one for double bottom bullish divergences. And the nice thing about that course, there's 10 videos of me doing simulated trades, entering the trade, position sizing, end of day stop, emergency stops, ATR trailing levels, phase out levels, and then just going bar by bar by bar and just going right on through it, and trading the plan. I will be doing that tonight with my student. How can you get access to that course, Greg? Would love to learn. It's not available yet, Morgs. I have it for current students and past students. I have it, but as far as someone who's not a student, I will have it available up on Udemy, but it's probably going to be a couple weeks before it's up there because I uploaded it all. They have to review it and approve it, all that other kind of stuff. But I will let you know, and I think they'll give me a link, and I'll put the link in here. But I think it's for sale for $50 or something. But the way Udemy does it, everything's always on sale for like $15, $20. So it's going to be a really, really good deal. All right, everybody. I hope you have a nice weekend. Thanks for coming today. On the way out, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would really, really appreciate that. And thanks to everybody for coming, and thanks for all the contributions and sayings and poems and scanners and call outs on different crossovers and everything. We're all just each one person. And it's nice because there's a lot of people in this group that look at this and somebody else will look at that, and we kind of combine information. It's good. You can really kind of sense the synergy of it all. It's great. Okay. All right. Well, have a nice weekend, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday. Take care. And on the way out, I have to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.